looks good. Yeah, no, it's great. Looks great. So it looks like we have a little bit of differentiation in age a little bit, but we also have boys and girls, so I think that will equal it out. So however you think that you should split them up best works for me.
So I think we could do 2 extras on each side, and then if you're scored on those 2 go out, the other 2 go in.
Okay, so you want to play 4v4, is that what you're saying?
Just 2v2.
Okay.
But leave 2 subs.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's great. Yep.
If like it's scored on those 2, switch out.
Yep.
The 2 new ones come in, I'll take the ball.
That's great. Yep. As long as you're very, clear with directions. Are all 4 of us restarting? What do we do when balls go out of bounds? Things like that.
How would you do it? Would you switch every time a ball goes out of bounds, or just set it?
The transition would be so much, in my opinion. I think that.
Do scores.
Yep.
Okay.
We're good right now. And then think about make sure that you tell them when balls go out of bounds what we do with ball. And then make sure that you say trigger. Who's going to trigger the ball in?
Okay. Just on a pass.
Whatever you think. Yep. Just whatever line. Because young kids, they'll argue about it all up and down all day. So. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'll just bring them out here and talk to them for a minute.
Yeah.
Start them on.
That's great.
I'm going to go check and make sure the camera's actually on. Because otherwise the aircon will be really stressful. Right?
I will be a little sad if the camera's not on.
I'll just tell Adam it was a great job.
It was a great job. We don't need
to be fair for my conversation, Adam's not too.
No visual evidence needed. Don't let me freak you out. I'm just going to walk around with you a little bit. I'll probably come from here.
Anytime you want to help.
Perfect. I love that. Love the attitude. It's great.
Start whenever.
Yep.
All right, let's go. Everybody here? Thank you. Love it. All right, crew, my name is Coach Mike. First off, I appreciate you all coming out and working with us this morning. It is certainly a great opportunity for us to learn. So I'm glad you all are here. We're going to just do a simple 2v2 this morning. We're working on passing, dribbling, and taking a shot. So setting up, increasing an opportunity for a shot is all we're doing. I got 2 different fields set up, so 1 on each side. So we're going to play 2v2 here, 2v2 on this side. All right. We're going to have 2 subs on each side. So once we kind of divide out, we're going to stay on the outside. As soon as a ball is scored, those 2 will come in and switch. Okay. So if you're playing defense and the offense scores, then those defensive players will switch out. The next 2 will come in and play to start there, and they'll take over the ball first. All right. And I'll help you once we kind of get started. If the ball's out of bounds, whoever goes out of bounds on, I trust that you all can let me know who you think which side went out of bounds. If there is a discrepancy, I will help you decide. I will keep an eye on that. But then we'll give it to the other team. We'll reset on your side of the field. The yellow cones mark midfield, so just kind of watch for that. We'll start with the defenders on your side of the field, the offensive players on their side of the field, and we will know when play is in, when the offensive players pass to each other. So the first pass will let us know the cue when the play is started. Okay. So we're looking for keeping attention, eyes downfield, keeping our head up, right? Looking for opportunities to score, find space for each other to space out, and look for openings to be able to pass to a teammate. So 3 things that we're trying to focus on. We're either taking a shot if we're open, we have the opportunity to pass, or we're progressing upfield. Okay, so looking for those 3 things. What can we do to put pressure and get a good shot on the goal? Any just initial questions from you all? We'll divide up. I'll go over something really quick again, and then we'll make sure that we'll get started from there. If you hear the whistle once, just stop real quick and just ask that you kind of stop play for a second. I might be explaining something, or I'm maybe saying I wasn't clear on my directions, and I'm just going to take a second just to reiterate something. Any of the out of bounds that you all see are the red cones, so I've got them filled a little closer than probably I needed to with a gap in the middle. But if it goes out of bounds on either side, just whoever it's out of bounds on, other team gets the ball. You could come in, we'll do the same thing. Defenders get back on your half of the field. Offense start on your side. We'll know that play is in on the first pass, okay? Any questions on your field parameters? So we'll have 2v2 on that side with those 2 goals, 2v2 on this side with these 2 goals. Any questions on that part? Excellent. I appreciate you all very much. I'm going to divide you up, so I'm just going to point a direction. I just want you to head this side. If I point to you on this side, head this side, okay? Left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Both of y'all over here. Did I do that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 13. We have 1 extra. So we got 1 extra. So here's what we'll do. Just on this side over here, since you all are perfect, you're going to start 2v2. The other 2 be on the side on the outside. So you all just stand on the outside over here and be fine. As soon as actually just stay there. Be fine. Yeah, I like where you're at there. You're probably used to that. So let's just stay there. So start on offense, start on defense. As soon as somebody's scored on, you 2 are coming in to take the place on the defenders that were scored on, okay? And then those 2 will rotate in. Ball's in play.
Part of, we'll see what he does. It's a great coaching point already. Good job.
Scoring.
What do you ask? If you guys didn't hear, help me with your name. Chris. Other Chris. There's 2 of us. So if you didn't hear Chris real quick, Chris said, hey, can we use pennies for this, right? It's a great coaching point. I'm not going to stop him right now. He'll realize it on his own, and if he doesn't, it'll be a really quick coaching point. But yes, great point.
If you all have your left foot go to the back side of the page. So if you look on the very back, right, you have 5 elements. Okay.
Here we go.
So every coach should go through that and look through the elements, right? So when we look at that first element, we look at the organization piece, right? So as Chris brought out and Eric has probably discussed,
And you'll be ready to go.
that's organization that we look at, right? Because while we're dealing with 2v2,
Okay, what do you think? Nope, you're fine. What do you think? I want to hear what you have to say.
Switch on this side. 2 in, 2 out. It'd be hard for me to watch both sides.
Okay.
So
Where should you stand?
I'm assuming in the middle.
Okay.
Or back here so I can see.
100%. So, my terminology, I'm a PE teacher, so they say back against the wall like this,
Okay.
because then you can always see everything.
Okay.
Coaching points can come and go. For this first play
Good
phase,
shot.
This first play phase, it's going to be really player-centered. If you can set this up and just get, what do you need?
What did you say about, like, if the ball goes out?
If the ball goes out of bounds, it's turn over to the other team. Okay? So then just switch sides to the other team. You can roll it in. You all have here.
Can we have just 2 go behind the goal over there? It's okay. Doesn't matter who. Any 2 can go back there, so we're ready to rock. So yeah, great over here. Organizationally, what else?
Good pass.
I love the yellow cones for a halfway line. That's really great. I love this. Where are all of our soccer balls at?
Oh.
It's okay. No, we can keep talking.
Would
We can fix it.
you have like a couple more on each end behind each goal?
Yeah.
So just so that they've got something they can play in really quick.
Yeah, and again, this is very kid-centered. So if the players can, at the very beginning, hey guys, make sure each side has got enough balls. Or if you really want to simplify it, another way that you could do this, and totally up to you, there's no right or wrong, all the balls could start on one side. They would have to pass it in to the other side. And again, there's no right or wrong, but just so we have enough so we get lots of reps.
Okay, good. Do you want me to do that now? Put a few more on each side at least
If
so
you
they
want
can make
to.
that transition faster.
They're also bringing out pennies. 2v2 is not a huge deal, but if we got a little bit bigger and they're all wearing gray because they're all part of the same club, it's just a little bit easier at times.
All right, can I pause and make those
For
adjustments?
sure, yeah.
All right, hold up just a second. Everybody come to the yellow cones for just a second. I'm going to make a couple coaching adjustments, so I appreciate you all. Number one, first off, talk to me. What are some things that you all thought that you did good in that transition? How many goals did we have?
All right. If I'm repeating what Derek's saying, I greatly apologize. I just want to tell you what I told Mike when I was out there. I think we talked about pennies, right? Just about bibs, just to make it a little bit different color, especially since we're all from the same club. I talked to him about where he stands. It might kind of go by the wayside a little bit, but when you're coaching, it's really important where you stand. I'm a PE teacher, I was telling him, so back against the wall is a terminology we use. At first he thought he should stand centrally so he could see both a little bit closer, but you can't possibly do this. So if you're backwards so you can see both fields, it's great. Another thing that I discussed with him is balls, right? So how many balls did we have ready to rock and roll? In one of those, I know that Derek was talking to you briefly about the 5 aspects of a training session, right? So this is just organization stuff in here. But you'll also see the word repetitions. We're not getting the most out of our reps if we don't have balls that are ready to rock and roll for us, right? I do love that he decided to put yellow cones here. For our little guys and girls, we have build out lines a lot, or it's just a really good basis for when we start talking about offsides. So really good call on his part to make that a little different. For me, he's doing a little bit much talking for the first play phase. The way that this should roll out is once it's organized, can we get the kids to make their own decisions? Can we let them get out of tough spaces on their own? Can we let them work through some of these things without giving them too much? Okay, so right now you can tell he did his homework with the questions that he's asking the kids, and he's even asking some things that we'll get to in the next phase when we get to the practice phase. But these are supposed to be just guided questions right now, letting them think on it and then letting them go back out there. Should take 30 seconds to a minute at most when we stop. Okay, so it's really great. He really knows what he's doing. It's a lot of information. Good? Anything else that we got from the beginning? No? Ready to rock? For restarts, Coach, is that what Derek told you? Or is that you're just guessing?
I'm just asking.
What do we think, Coach Mike?
I was just telling them that they could, instead of doing throw-ins, because I feel like that's focusing on an additional skill, that I just wanted them to play it back in with the 2 new players and just know that we are balls live on the first pass.
Other Chris, do you have a thought? You started thinking.
No, I'm there in this setting.
Okay.
It's just 2v2. Let's just play.
They're doing throw-ins over here.
Okay. So maybe we weren't 100% clarified,
Yeah.
but look on those 5 elements again. What does one of them say that might pertain to what choice you should make?
You go get more balls and put them around.
He was going to.
He's doing
Is it game-like? So is that game-like? No, right? And how many of our little guys and girls don't know what a throw-in is or how to do it properly, right? And we don't think to just stand up and throw balls at them, have them do that reps over and over again, because that's not our main focus when we're coaching the game, right? So is it game-like is something that you always need to pay attention to. Great.
Live pass, and then we're ready to play again, okay? So we're not going to work on throw-ins right now. We're going to work on turnover on your side. Use the ball. First live pass, so as soon as you pass, we know we're ready to go, okay? And that's our key to the defense. So go again.
Okay. One more thing really quickly. We want these guys playing as much as possible in this first play, right? If you can even have this set up as they run out of the car, that's excellent. Mike has stopped them at least one to start, and he talked for a kind of lengthy period of time. He just stopped them again, and we didn't even get the pennies out in that round, okay? So make sure that you're enough put together. I spoke with him about balls and pennies, and then we brought all the kids together. Great, can I make those decisions or those changes right now? Yes, you can. But then we just ended up giving more coaching points as opposed to fixing the organization. Make sense? Yes, so if we're gonna take that time to bring them in, let's make sure that we get that done.
On your side, you can go back to your side. Yeah, the first pass. Wait up, defense. Black watch off. Yep. Good. Way to come back.
thing that I was telling them. This first play phase, you studied and you're giving them questions. You're trying to guide them to the right answers right away. Even you thinking ahead about what practice is going to be about.
Okay.
This first one, guide them with quick questions. Talk to them for like a minute and a half max, and send them back out.
Send them
Send them back. Let them try to figure out some things on their own before, And then when you bring them back in the second time, sure, start giving them a little bit of snippets here and there.
Great. Okay.
And then one more thing about the elements of a practice session. And they're on the bottom of one of these sheets. I don't expect you to know them all right now. But one of them is game-like. So when you think about when balls go out of bounds, every coach over there said, yep, kick-ins because it's more reps and we get the ball in quicker.
Okay.
But
Good.
is that game-like?
No, I mean, it's just throw-ins most of the time. So are they saying throw it in?
So throw-ins are probably the right choice because that makes it more game-like. I also think that we don't do a well enough job at these lower ages of practicing throw-ins.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah, we can do that.
But it's great.
Okay.
Great.
Do you need to give another instruction and make a couple adjustments and go again?
If you want to, but it's just something that you learned. I mean, they don't have to fix it right now.
Okay.
Just something. You're here to learn.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't care. They're playing.
Okay.
So they're getting enough reps. I think that organization is better now. I think that they know when balls go out of bounds. I think it's good.
Okay. Do you want me to keep playing or
Whatever you think. You have some more time. You have some more time.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
If you have a question, you can ask it. Go ahead.
Oh, never mind. There. Yeah.
Make sure you don't bump each other. I'm gonna make an adjustment from last time that after getting some guidance for you all, since you all probably are used to throw-ins anyway. So to make it so you're not confusing to you all, just if it goes out of bounds, then we'll throw it right back in. So you can do a throw-in, and then we'll work back in and play that way. Okay? So you don't have to make you assign. So we'll do there. The other thing I want you to think about on defense sometimes. What is something that we should be thinking as a defender if we're off ball?
The pass. Finding a space.
I want you to think about that. Great. I want you to keep that in mind. So the scoring angle, look for the scoring angle, see what we can do about it. So when you all are playing this time, I want you to think not only just on how you're going to play with your teammate if we're on the attack, but what should I be doing as a secondary defender or an off-ball defender, okay? So be thinking about that. What are some things that we should know about then?
We should know where to go if they're going to score.
Where to go. So should we know where the goal's at? Should we know how close we are to the goal? Right? Because we're going to look for those angles. So I want to see how you all can apply that this time. Remember, we're doing throw-ins instead of last time we just did a pass to activate play. Then if it goes out of bounds, other team gets the ball, bring it back in, you can throw it in, then we'll know we'll get started from there. All right, you ready? Go. Doing a fine job. I put an extra, a few extra soccer balls at the end. If you have two subbing in, you can just grab one of those.
Okay, so time-wise, how do we feel about that intervention? Too long, but yeah, and the second one, right? That intervention was quicker than the first and the second, okay? Not only did he speak to them about what he was trying to see a little bit different game-wise, but he made the organizational change to switch to more game-like throw-ins while the kids were in there. He noted that he grabbed some more balls, so organizationally, reps, game-like, everything like that, he made those coaching points in a much, much more confined time range. Really good. So one thing for you guys to think about, I don't know, and I haven't talked to him quite yet. Sometimes when you're training, you're going to have groups of teams, right? You don't just have your team. Or maybe if you do have your team, you are pretty confident knowing their skill level difference when it comes to small-sided games like this. Be intentional about how you separate them, okay, if you have two fields. So I think that he did his very best of saying he took the older girls and split them up evenly. Then he went to the younger boys and split them up evenly. So I think that both of them have the same talent range, but is that what's best for them? Because are they being competitive with each other? Does that make sense? So whatever it is, however you think about it, just make sure that it's a thought for you and that you're intentional with the way that you... Now, am I asking you to send the same two against the same two the whole time? No. But just make sure that it's a thought in the back of your mind. How do we feel about these kiddos standing in the middle of the field as subs?
I'd like to get them engaged somehow.
Like to get them engaged, okay? If this is fast enough, so that brings up a good point, right? If we feel like they're sleeping on the job, then maybe it can be, hey, first goal or first 30 seconds. give them a little bit of time crunch, a little bit, burn. Hey, we got to really be trying to score goals right away, okay? But engage, but what else? Is this a safety issue? For sure. We talked about coaches standing in the center of the field, but they have no idea what's happening behind them if they're looking at their own field as well, right? And then where are the balls placed? By the goals, right? So then we're having to either huff it to one to go find a ball, or we're huffing it to the other side to go defend. Make sense? Little things. And I'm sure Mike is working so hard organizationally to get this going and to keep him playing and to keep him having fun that some of this stuff goes by the wayside. I promise you'll get better at it every time. It's just questions that you don't think about when you're doing this every day.
Back to the challenge piece.
Great.
Would you recommend when you start a drill like this that your aim to start is as even as possible and then work to a progression of mixing talent to get more of a challenge, or vice versa?
That's totally up to you. I'll tell you from my own personal experience. Yeah, for sure. I had these set up, and the first kids out of the car, I let them own it. This is, again, you're going to hear me say player-centered a lot. Yeah. This is very player-centered. They're getting out of...
either way from how they started.
If I have 3 kids jump out of the car, they'll play 2v1. If I have 4 kids jump out of the car, they'll play 2v2. Yeah. And then if numbers start getting a little bit crazier, I need to add a third field or whatever happens, then I can kind of piecemeal them a little bit. But if not, I tend to let them go.
Like from the disparity of talent within your own team, the top 3 or 4 kids, are you...
Whoever's out of the car first.
Yep.
Because I want them with as many reps as possible. Right. When we get into practice and play 2, that might be a little bit different because we're going to, if you've looked at your session, we're going to have more of an actual scrimmage. So maybe that's different for me. Yeah. But this, I get them hopped in right away.
So what's our topic?
What's your topic? Goal scoring opportunities.
So what was his questions?
Who's? Mike's?
Yep, the group. What was his main questions he asked in the last intervention?
What do we think? How was our communication?
I was talking to them.
When he brought everybody in, he was asking questions about defending angles, things like that. Right? So,
I knew about throwing organization, but I just didn't even.
Yeah, he was talking about think about defending things. So we thought about the question.
Okay, thank you.
Some, right? Yeah, we got to make sure if we are allowed either on ball as a defender or as a player with the ball, either one. Make sure that if we are the second or the on ball defender, that we're looking at where it is that can possibly go. Help out. So
guys, Mateo, come in a little bit closer this way too.
Where the other player is, right?
So Derek just brought up a good point to me, and I was more focused on organization with him and talking to you guys, but now you can hear him a lot focusing on defending. His first initial when he brought the kids in, he's talking about shots again now. Kids are like sponges, but we need to give them a couple things to focus on, especially when leading our first play session into what our practice is going to be. So if we're talking about practicing defending, sure, that's great to have in our first play because you're getting the kids thinking about what they're going to do. But inviting all of this in, because we'll start to talk deeper into player actions or what we want out of our players. What are they really aiming to do? So if we lose the objective here, it turns into more like a scrimmage feel as opposed to really thinking about, hey, how can I attack once we get bigger? Make sense?
Do you feel like that changes with the age groups, or are we talking specifically about this age
What
group?
part changes?
So like the object here is to
Adding
score
layers.
Goals, and we're really focusing on scoring goals. We want to focus on really coaching that objective
Mm-hmm.
as you get older, or you also, if we're talking about a 15-year-old group of kids, are we trying to instruct more because they can handle more complexity, or
Are you talking about the topic or just more
like what you're coaching?
like the topic? I mean, our women just played for 4 games and couldn't score any goals. It doesn't matter the age. I mean, you're still leaving it very open-ended because, again, these kids are trying to figure out how am I going to solve these problems on my own, but just giving them one basic objective.
It's lies for you as well, because what happens when we start doing that is we try to fix everything, and we start trying to fix everything, you really don't help anything.
You're doing great. I think the amount of time that you've talked at each intervention has gone better and better.
Okay. So less.
Everyone tries to overtalk because you're trying to give them as much. You're trying to coach. That's why you do this, what you do. One thing probably safety-wise about just the boys in the middle, just make sure that when they're swapping, just have them stand behind and they're closer to the balls and the whole thing.
Okay.
You did a really good job at the very beginning looking through and knowing that this was an attacking you know, your guided questions were towards scoring goals. Don't go away from that just because more time has gone on.
Okay.
Really
Stick
be
with it.
in, get more detailed if you want, or if you think you can, or ask for their feedback, or you can, there's a million other things that you can do. Just don't lose that attacking mindset.
Okay.
As soon as we start talking about defending, then they're
start
just
thinking
all,
about something
yeah,
else. Okay.
right?
All right.
Trying to fix too much.
Good.
But it's great. It's great. You're almost done. It's great.
Great, nice shot. Let's see. Oh, there it is.
Okay, so that's actually a terrific question. So here's the issue with every time you do like a stoppage, you move people around everything. Everyone's like, okay, sweet, I know what's happening. So can we give them an option? Like if the defender steps this way, maybe we look to do this. If they step this way, now you look to shoot. You know that, and then now you can give them at least two different options. They can look and see and make a decision based on the cues versus just doing what you just told them to do. And the defender going, doing that kind of thing. And yeah, kids will absolutely ruin your coaching career in terms of your coaching points. Like they're very good. Great question.
We good time wise?
Yeah. Probably need to be wrapping up first play here shortly. Who's my practice person? You ready?
Jimmy, listen, yeah, dude, come on, with some more
I have the least
enthusiasm.
experience of everyone here.
We're
so.
here for you.
Right.
No, that's great. You're
You guys
here.
have a lot of good
You're
criticisms
here.
for me.
You had the same experience level that we all did at one point.
Yep.
Right.
You are here. No, it's great. This is going to make you, I mean, Mike's getting a lot of one-on-one over here. It's going to make you.
So, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Should I try to set up two separate ones? Or should I just do one?
My first question to you. You have one of these? You've seen one of these? Yeah. Perfect. Yep. Yours is in color. It's beautiful. So my first thought for you is to look at how many kiddos you have.
Yeah.
So how many kids are out here?
13.
13. Okay. How many kids do you need for your organization?
Seven. If they're going 2 and 2, you need 5.
So you need 5, right?
I mean, you could do 5 on each side. Everybody gets a break.
Okay.
Again, we need maybe they need a break.
So we're thinking the elements, the 5 elements again.
Right.
So
Organization.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And then when we
Make it
think
game-like.
Yep.
Also.
You're killing it. You're doing great. So think about it from the way organization is great, but think about it from the way of repetitions.
Yeah.
If we need 2 kids, right? The goalkeeper's not doing a ton of work, so they don't really need to switch out, right?
Right.
So we really need 4 field players that are moving.
Right.
So what do we think?
So 2. Sounds like 2 separate.
Okay. Yeah. No, we can always try it, and if we hate it, then we fix it,
Try.
right? So that's all
Or maybe
good.
I set up 1 and they do it quickly.
Whatever way that you think is best, looking forward at it. And again, how much activity are they doing when they're in here, right? So 28 yards away from goal.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can always, I mean, you can do it for time. This stuff is totally up to you.
Yeah.
You're good, Mike.
Time or?
Nope, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. You can blow them in and give them a recap.
All right, everybody in.
So it's totally up to you. Grab these cones. Make sure that organizationally that you set this up correctly.
Right.
And then we'll be ready to rock.
All right. That's it.
There's a ton of cones right over there. You can use all of those if you want. Jimmy? Yeah. So do you want these moved? Okay, that's great. We can have some help. Thank you so much. Thank you.
What else did you all think that we did good today?
We were really aggressive.
I thought you all did pretty good. Right? Now, as you start to get a little bit tired, what did you find yourself doing?
Walking
Down, or I saw sometimes
Lacking.
were we watching our teammates some? Time to time, like we start to get tired a little bit. So, if it is tired, if we need a break, we try to break a little bit more. But make sure that we're staying aggressive if we're off ball, right? We've got to give our teammate a chance instead of just watching them and hoping they can do something. We want to make sure that we give them a spot. So find an open space.
them off and start fresh and let Jimmy work on
Penny's
organization.
off and the ball ready.
Okay, if you have a practice plan, pull it out so you can help us with organization as well.
Or if you help, because I think so.
Okay, how do we think Mike did in play one?
Good job, Mike.
Mike, it was great. I was telling these guys over here, you were in the middle of coaching. I was telling these guys, we're going to let Jimmy do his thing. So, Jimmy, you're not missing out on anything. Do your thing. It's just things that you don't think about. You're so worried about organization. Do I have all my kids here? Are they ready? Am I talking too much? Am I not talking enough? Especially in this setting, right? This is a little bit more panic-stricken than when you're out there with your kids. We all tend to overtalk at the beginning. I think that all of us as coaches, we're trying to instill as much coaching into our kids, right? This is why we love it, to help them get better. Overload is a real thing. We talked about it when we were doing our virtual classroom. These kids are out here to have fun. At the very beginning, let them go. Let them go. It was really good. Oh yeah, Derek's got Jimmy. It was really good. Organization is the biggest thing. Making practice plans is the biggest thing. So this phase is going to be the most important when it comes to actual coaching. So we talked about guiding a little bit. We've talked about some different opportunities in here. Hopefully Jimmy will find opportunities to actually stop the game. I heard some of you talking about freezes. To stop the game and to actually show, hey, can we demonstrate what I want, right? So if we're really working on opportunities to go at goal, if a child or if a team isn't doing that right at one of your first stoppages, don't be afraid to say, hey, stop, freeze, let me show you this. One demonstration could change your entire game. So hopefully we get more actual coaching in this phase as we work toward the next one. Kelsey, will you have our list?
Yeah.
What do you have? First play. Okay, so I think the little bit difference that I talked to Mike about was, and I've talked to you as well, about making sure that those questions at the beginning are guided. Bring them in, talk for a minute, let them go. We don't have to answer it. They don't have to answer our questions. Hey guys, this is our objective for practice today. Here are a couple things that you can think about while you're playing. I think that is in here.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then using our keywords. So Kelsey's got the session manual over here. Can you just keyword us? I think that this down here is a huge part.
For the play phase?
Yeah, for the first play.
All right, so keywords and guided questions for the play phase. So you're bringing all players in. You're going to ask similar questions that you did from the practice phase. And then players will actually answer the question and chat with each other about it. And then the coach is expected to interact with players about the why of the desired behavior, and it should take no longer than about 2 minutes.
So that's a real thing too. That's really powerful. Being patient is hard as a coach, right? You ask a question, and even for us when we're doing virtual classrooms, if it's 10 seconds, we start being like, don't feel like you're being awkward. You might be to those kids, but that's how you check for understanding. That's a really basic assessment for them. Hey, can you summarize what I'm saying or what we're working on? So let them try to work it out before we're super excited to jump in as well. Any questions before we hit practice? Okay, awesome. We're going to see how Jimmy... So when I was talking to Jimmy basically about organization, he was having a little bit of thought about, hey, do I create one session of this or do I set up 2 different fields for this? My first question to you is, how many kids do you have at training? How many kids do you have? Standing in lines for young kids is a real thing. It creates so much headache for you. So much headache. More than I'm worried about it being, getting your reps in. Kids are hanging on each other doing cartwheels and you're like, why am I here again? So not having kids stand in line is a real thing, but also making sure that we're not spending the whole time transitioning, yelling at them to get back in line is a real thing too. I told him, start with whatever you feel comfortable with. We can always adapt. Always adapt. We talked maybe a little bit, I think we glanced over it quickly, about reflection, and we'll do more reflection after this day is done. Some of you have Derek and some of you will be talking to me. this is a great time to make notes in your session. Hey, I started with 1, it wasn't enough. Next time I'll start with 2. Or this is the number. That
Something like this where I had 2 going on at the same time. Is it okay then you prefer just to stop play on both sides, blow the whistle, stop play on both sides? Even if you wanted to show an example from over here, it's okay to stop this side? Because that was I was going through my head. I was like,
Yeah.
I'd really like to stop and say something here.
Yep.
But did you want?
That's a really great question, because if one is rocking and rolling, why are we going to stun it for them? But if it's an organizational thing that you need to switch, yeah, pull them in. Hey guys, here's a couple things that I saw from here and there. I need you to put some pennies on, make sure balls are on both sides of the field, and let's go. But if not, don't feel like you can't intervene into their space and say, hey, whatever your coaching point needs to be. But again, in the first play phase, we're just kind of letting them rock. So yes, no, that's great. Jimmy, when you're ready, we're ready. We're confident in you. We're super excited.
All right. All right, guys. Players. Come on over. Players.
Jimmy, I know you have a coaching voice.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Right. Come on over. All right.
You guys can get close enough.
So, well, thank you. Thank you.
Mike, you guys can get close enough in here.
So, again, did really great. I am Jimmy. Hello. How are you doing today? So we're gonna do the practice, and it's gonna be another 2-person versus 2-person. Okay. A little bit like what you guys were doing. And we're gonna have Does anybody like me? We already got a couple. All right.
No goalie, bro.
And that person's gonna be going. They're gonna be going. All right. All right. So.
You're okay.
All right.
Yep, go ahead.
And then we'll do defense and offense. Okay.
Yeah, in green.
Somewhere else agree.
He's going to have 2. Just let him roll for a minute.
As long as you're on.
Thanks. You can help, Coach Jimmy. Go ahead, pick that up. Thank you.
I'm midfield. I'm both.
I think we got everybody. Oh, I hate you too. All right.
Hey, girls. Hey, girls. Hey,
guys, come
make
on.
sure that we're focused here with Coach Jimmy, please.
Pay attention. So, the purpose of this is to create chances, and I want y'all to think about how you can do that, okay? So what you'll do is you'll have the attackers. I want you guys to line up behind it. I want you to start it. And there'll be one attacker starting, and then one who's already kind of ready. And then whoever scores the goal, I want you guys to switch out, okay? All right, so that's what you'll do. Let me show you guys. Center's over there. Everybody get in the line. And then one goalie at a time and switch out each time. And you can hang out next to the goal. Well, maybe next to the goal, safety issue.
Whatever you think. Whatever you think.
All right, buddy. Just hang out kind of behind the goal there. All right. And then, so one of the defenders, you're going to start out at the penalty line. Okay?
Stairwell. And again, as you have questions,
As is one of the attackers. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Back up this way. So you're kind of waiting for the ball, okay? And you're going to be the next attacker. All right. So go ahead and go up there and stand in front of her. All right. In front of her, I'm sorry. There you go. And then as soon as he passes the ball or starts dribbling it, that's your guys' cue for one of y'all to go in. So everybody's going to be kind of in a line. Line up behind him. Line up behind her.
Now, what's probably the obvious question?
And let's do right here. Tell you what, let's spread out just a little bit here.
So, yes.
Let's do it over here.
So, if we go 3v3, so consequently, we'll probably have to make
And the defenders, your purpose is to score this goal if you can, okay? So if you defend and you get the ball, score the goal. And when we score a goal, we're going to switch. All right, let's try it. You can dribble it. Yeah, you score in that one. Yeah, you can score in that one. Attacker scores in the big one. Defender scores in the little one. All right. Any questions, guys? Let's do it.
You have a lot of questions?
Sure, what you need? So, I'm sorry. So one of you starts out, or defenders. One of you's going to start there, one of you's going to start here. And when he kicks it in, there's going to be two defenders.
So are we supposed to go in with?
Or he starts dribbling. All right. All right, go ahead, guys. That's right, right. Go ahead. Go ahead, defender. Go in. There you go.
Good. So organizationally so far, what do we think?
I think I didn't do very well.
No. What could we fix, or what did go well? Anything, any feedback, any reflection? So I'll start you off. So we had talked about, do we need to make 2 spaces or do we need to take 1?
Yeah, I'm starting to think 2 might have been better.
Okay, so when we think 2, think about how many subs we would have.
If we did 2, we'd only have 2 subs total.
Yeah, that's a little tight, right?
Yeah, it's a little tight.
So what's another option you can think a little bit outside the box?
Well, I was going to just add more.
Yeah.
Actually, I was going to do it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because
that is
take
great.
a while. Yeah.
That's great. So another way that we can figure that out is if one group is having success. So remember what our objective is. Do you remember what our objective of our training session is?
Is it dribbling and passing and making space or attacking? Yeah.
It's an attacking.
Yeah.
Yep. So make sure that when we're talking through them that we're really focused on the attacking crew and not so much about the defending crew.
Sure.
So organizationally, I think it looks good.
Yeah.
We could add another player, and whenever you stop them, that's a great thing to switch. I like how you thought about the other goalkeeper, about how to switch them out, and if it was in a safe position.
Yeah.
Great job thinking that one through. So when we talk,
too long.
it's okay.
Yeah.
When we talk about safety, what could we change about these lines out here?
That one over further too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you know the things. It's just so much happening at one time. So whenever you're ready,
Yeah.
whenever you think that you have a couple things you can say to them, feel free to stop them. And remember, our focus, our big success is, are we working toward the objective to where we have opportunity to go to goal? Inside of this as well.
Yeah.
So when we pull them in, make sure that we can ask, and I don't care if you go off your cheat sheet right now.
Look for
what are
great
some of
chances,
these?
yeah.
Yep. What are some of these guided questions that we can get them to understand that the objective is to create chances, dribbling, and passing? And again, we can guide them, let them think on it. There's multiple ways to do it.
I'm gonna switch them out again.
Okay.
All right.
Whenever you're ready.
Every decision we make as a coach is going to have some kind of consequence. You know what I mean? Right or wrong. It's going to have a consequence.
Again, apologies if Derek already went over this with you. What I was talking to, sorry, right? It's boring just sitting around hanging out, not coaching, right? That's why we're all here. I talked to you at the beginning that Jimmy was having a really hard time in his head. Do I make 2 grids? Do I make 1? Yeah. What's a different way that we could switch this out? So we didn't have to decide that. How can we adjust this? Did he tell you already?
I swear we can talk about this.
Darn it. So the thing was that Jimmy knew it right away. He was just unsure to make that change on his own because he was given a clear, what he thought was a clear directive. Again, you adapt. You make practice plans before you go, and different amount of kids show up, you fix it. And that's a great, really early reflection for him. So he's going to change that really soon. He wanted opportunity for goalkeepers to switch spots, so that's why there are 2. He gave them a clear directive that after every after every goal, I believe he said that they were going to swap out. He did think about safety. At first, he told the little guy back there that's playing goalie, he said stand next to the goal, and then he was like, well, is that safe? So that's, you guys are thinking about the 5 elements. It's great. So that's just basic organization that we're getting through and some safety, and now we'll start to see about successes that we see with the objective in mind that we're looking for goal scoring opportunities, chances from dribbling and passing.
On that thing, like we could probably go 3 versus 2 here, or 4 versus 3. If we just will need to
Widen the space.
Yeah, widen the space and make it bigger. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's what we were talking about.
I thought he was going to do that right then.
Let's go ahead and kind of push them in
Yep.
interchangeably.
Give me widen space.
Well, we can just add more kids so we don't have our line so long. So yeah, but by adding more kids, right, we need to make the space bigger, because just every time that we make a choice, it's just got lots of layers to go with it.
There we go.
So
All right.
let's stop them in whatever way you want to do it.
All right, guys. Let's come talk.
It's just an organization thing, so you can go 4v3. I mean, you can use as many as you want. It doesn't have to be full rotations of switches, because we're not being exerted really fully.
So we're not getting enough playtime, I think. What do you guys think? I agree. So now we talked about the goals. Right? Does anybody remember the goals? Create space, defense, offense. As attackers, and that's really what we want to work on. And I'm gonna have you guys switch out. You guys are going to eventually be attackers, and we're going to switch it this time. And when we take another break, you guys are going to switch, be defenders, so everybody gets a chance. Okay. And as attackers, you want to find space, either by think about how you're going to find space, either by dribbling or passing. Okay, guys. And we're going to go ahead and start out with 4 people in there, and I need to make this just a little bit bigger.
You guys have questions for Coach Jimmy? If you do, ask.
All right.
Do you know how many people are going in?
How many? 4. All right.
Great job listening.
All right. And you guys are going to be attackers. Did we use a pink person? Or we just have extra?
We just have an extra black, I think.
Yeah, 4. All right. All right. So go ahead and set it up. Go ahead and get back in your spots. And just have 4 people. 3 of the attackers come in.
Okay, me and Ari will take this side.
Okay, so we'll go back to the same point. How long are these interventions taking? Too long, okay? It's great to change it organizationally, because not only were we not getting reps from these kiddos that are standing in line, but you heard them, they're kids, right? They're gonna get on each other. They're gonna start to frustrate and annoy each other. So making that change is great. If you start seeing this as a coach, clarify your instructions as quickly and as loudly and as sternly as you can. Because right now we're spending more time letting the kids own this session than we are getting work done. What else? When he's trying to change the space, I did ask him if they had questions before he started moving. Okay, so when he's changing the space,
Is it a 4v4 or 2v2?
he changed it to the kids. I knew that they didn't understand. He wanted 4 in there. Yep. So he's gonna fix it right now. So we'll also see if he moves the other side.
I still don't know. What is he doing?
He wanted 4s.
4-4. Okay.
They're kids. You're doing great. You're doing great. Okay, so organizationally, we have balls on both sides, right? So we need to have a clear, defined what line is a trigger for us. Okay. What do we notice about the field? What else?
Huge one-way.
Yeah, it's a little shallow.
So that's an organization thing as well as game-like. And I know it's really hard to pull yourself away from coaching in here. Totally get it and understand. If you have an assistant, this is a great job for them. Or, hey guys, let's stop for 10 seconds. Everybody grab a cone, walk it out 10 yards. It gets it done so efficiently, so quickly. Kids love to help, and we're back in again.
Right.
Like when we stop the talking.
Okay, I think we're ready to rock.
I'll tell you what, I think I'm just going to have everybody play.
Hey, Fred.
You're okay. You're doing great. Okay, so we did a good thing by getting more kids in.
Yeah.
Do they know what happens when balls go out of bounds side to
They
side?
don't.
Okay. What do we think should... It's okay. You don't have to stop them yet. Let's talk through. Great. So you want throw-ins from the outside? Okay, great. Makes it game-like. What do we notice organizationally about... We added more kids. You knew you needed to make the field bigger.
Yeah.
What do we know?
Part bigger too.
And I know that it's so hard to pull yourself away because you're not doing coaching, right? You're fixing the field, and I get that.
Yeah.
So if you have an assistant, that's a great thing for them to do. Or if you say, hey guys, everyone find a red cone, walk it out 10 steps.
Yeah, I should have done that.
No, we're here to learn. Just throwing information for you, okay? Because right now, organizationally and probably game-like, it's a little lopsided. And it's nothing that you don't know.
Yeah. Lopsided as in there's too many.
No, as in it's really wide on this side and not over
It's not
here
wide.
on this side. Right.
I didn't want them to sit there for a while.
Yep. Okay, so one other thing. It seems like we have balls on each side. So just, I don't care who triggers the ball. Just, tell them, hey, we're going to dribble and hey, we're going to pass it. And this is all the balls going to be on this side.
I'll be out.
Need a break. All right. Perfect.
Wait, I don't want to be out. Do I have to be out?
Let her have a chance to. Yeah, go ahead and go in.
No, there's only 4 people.
There you go. Good job.
No.
We got to think about it. One, we're going to have more people to start. Probably 5.
Birds love having little balls. They're all like pickpocketing everyone.
Good job, defense.
When you, next time you call them in or to fix the field or whatever that you're going to do,
Yeah.
if you see a really great coaching point that you can stop and demonstrate or that you can press on these key questions to make sure that they're still really
Involved.
with the objective, right? Like, are we having great success right now?
We're
trying
not.
to, okay?
Yeah,
So
so
how
we
do
need
we
to adjust
fix
it
that?
further.
Okay, so how can we get more opportunities to go forward and go to goal? Good save.
Yeah, good save. I think what I might do is actually take out some of the defense.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. If we're not getting enough success, then can we change that? And sometimes it's really hard to do it personnel-wise, so just taking a kid off, and then if we have more success and then you feel comfortable putting that fourth one back in, you can always do that.
Right.
It's a great idea.
Pass the Grace.
Who's Grace?
The girl next to the goal.
Watch what you say.
It's the white right there.
Chest pass. It's everything for not me to call her out right now.
Whose kid is that, yours?
Hey, can you help me with that?
No. It's not in my wheelhouse.
We got to Venmo her for that. That's not part of the course.
So what Jimmy and I were talking about back here is that what's our objective again? Do you remember what our training session? By dribbling and passing. Does that look like it's making sense right now? Do we see successes in that? Do we see even opportunities to really coach on that?
No.
Not use our keywords, not much of anything. So I said, how do we fix it? To get more repetitions and more success trying to go forward to do that. He said, I'm really thinking about pulling off a defender. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Well, maybe too many on the field, but we're going to get way more successes at that point going 4 versus 3, and then we can really take time to do our coaching points from there. And then if you hit great success, then what do we do? How do we adapt from there? Go back to 4v4, right? It's great. And again, we were talking about this with Mike a little bit, and we talked about it a little bit with Jimmy. As quick as you can get these guys back in, let's do it. He noticed this. He noticed the field discrepancy a little bit. Again, he didn't want to, what we talked about earlier.
I was gonna say, you can just, because they're not playing out wide, so just open
Right.
this up, move a line down, move another line.
Or we just talked about how fast you could do it, right? We talked about this over here. Assistant coaches, or every kid grab a cone, back up 10 steps. Whatever we can do to use those little bodies to get us back into play quicker.
I have a question from an organization piece.
Oh boy.
So when we adjusted wide to one side. What was the thought process on not adjusting the width on this side?
That he didn't get over to the other side yet.
Okay. Fair enough.
It wasn't purposeful. He just saw things going array in the middle and needed to cover that first.
Start here. And when you're done, put the ball.
Where do you turn my shoe?
Well, we're gonna have more pink and black. That way you get more chances to use your attacking. All right, now I'm gonna put that over there. I'm gonna be defending that. Right, you're gonna take the ball away from me.
Oh yeah.
Right. Go ahead. You guys going in?
Good try.
We're gonna make it a little more challenging for them. Yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
what team is attacking right now? Pink?
Pink.
Okay, great.
Couldn't even tell.
Nope, it's okay. Just making sure. Just making sure. So now, yep, it's 4 versus 3. It's great. It's a great change.
Yes, Aria.
There you go.
Spread out wide. Spread out wide. Pink, spread.
That's a good pass. Good job, goalie.
Aria, Peyton, spread out.
Okay. Did we give the goalie some direction about how they play? Like, is the ball dead when the goalkeeper gets it, or do they play out to the defenders? What do you think?
I didn't give him any direction.
It's okay. What do you think? Thinking about it.
Yeah.
Aria, watch the other one.
So, yeah. So it really should be. I think I'll.
What do you think?
Take it out.
I like to give more time to play.
More time to
Keep on the field.
more time, but more time to who do you want more time on the field for?
Attackers.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. So what should we do if goalkeeper wins, if there's a save that goes out of bounds or whatever the case happens?
We should let the attackers start over.
Yeah,
All right.
it's great.
Perfect. So go ahead and start that.
So you can, whatever organizationally you do, you can have the goalkeepers leave, a ball pile down there, whatever you figure out, but that's a great thought.
Peyton, are you in or out? Okay.
You know why I don't like unlucky for the kids' sake? You know what you've done when you said unlucky for the kids? You've removed all accountability from their actions. It's not my fault on this.
Aria,
I was
they were getting the ball.
Okay, so we've seen 3 or 4 balls go now. Have we seen more success in dribbling and passing to go to goal? We sure
So
have.
adjustment helps.
It's great.
Good job, guys.
You don't have to be mean with it, you know what I mean?
Okay, you guys are ready.
Go ahead, go ahead.
What's your name? What?
Or what if we let that ball go across the left foot?
All right, who's going to start it off?
Be a better angle. This is driving me crazy, by the way. Do you
How much
understand
longer do I have?
how much crazy this drives me?
A few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For your own sake,
Yeah.
go move those cones wider or move these ones in.
So that would be definitely
All of those ends.
It's okay. Whatever you think.
You're doing all right with these guys.
Whatever you think. Yep. It's great.
We can praise the execution of the technique, but we don't want to praise they're offside.
One thing for you to think on, keeping the 5 elements in mind. If a goalkeeper makes a save, ball goes into their hands, ball goes out of bounds, what should happen?
Someone go wide.
Keeping the objective in mind, what do we think should happen?
Play ball from up top.
Yeah, give me better words than playing a ball up top. More better.
Begin the drill again from
So if we begin the drill again from the attackers, what do we allow more of?
shots on goal.
Yeah, more reps of what we're really trying to focus on objective-wise. Does that make sense? Okay. Now I will say, if sometimes your defenders are just cranking it to the parking lot when they win it, maybe, say, hey, can we transition quickly? And goalkeeper can go to defenders and let's see if we can score a goal here. But yes, at the end of the day, we're really working on those reps to try to get the offensive objective. So as many times as we can get the ball in with them, great. Did we have better success when we changed from 4 to 3? Most definitely. And again, this is just his super great personality showing through a little bit. We see a little bit of spent time because we just don't know how to transition in quickly. So if we're just, however you figure that out, cutie little one sitting on the ball here, okay? As soon as ball goes out, ball should go back in. And if you need to trigger to play a couple of those balls in, great. Just to set the tone, set the pace. By the way, we also did switch offense and defense. Pink was on defense to start. So both groups have gotten to do both now.
Probably the next piece we got to think about is terms of challenging levels with this group. You know what I mean? Because I still don't think we're getting what we want to get out of the session, right? So now that he's done black and pink on the attack, now probably the next question we want to phrase to him is, okay, what was our successful level with black? What should we do now? Right, that kind of piece.
Great.
Why did he move that back in now?
Because they were just uneven. But no, it's okay. But remember why you moved. Yeah, go ahead.
You
You're
work
fine.
on what you got work.
He knew they were uneven, and instead of moving that one out, he moved them back to the original point.
So I think the question's got to be, why did you do that? So it can't be an uneven piece. It's got to be, okay, what's the result of moving that back in? Or have we thought about moving this back?
But yes, the challenging part for sure. Yep.
So if you look at the time. You look at the time now?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
This goes quick. I told you.
Couple things. Once we added more people, and now we're back up to 4v4 again, it looks like. So now we just made the space smaller again by pulling that in.
We did.
Right? So just the opposite direction instead. You knew, you just didn't. You were just trying to fix it quick. Easy. For sure. What do we notice? So we definitely had more successes when we were doing 4v3. Now that we're up to 4v4, what do we notice about the competition level or the skill level between teams right now? And you don't know these kids, so you did everything perfectly.
Yeah. It seems like black's a little more.
Yep.
Yeah.
It seems like the black team is a little more skilled than the pink team for right now.
Yeah. So I can do a couple different things. I
Okay.
can switch them to attack.
Okay.
Or we can mix them up.
Just for timepiece and your coaching points and things?
Probably just switch them up.
Probably.
Yeah.
Make sure that you get a point where you feel comfortable to interject and actually coach these guys, as opposed to worry. I know the organization part is the hard part. But when you bring them in next time to swap them, if that's what you choose to do, find a coaching moment where you can stop them and really ask some of these questions or some of these, keywords.
Right.
Again, remind them of the objective.
Right. Okay. All right.
Whenever you're comfortable, talk it out in your head and whenever you're ready.
All right, guys. Let's round up. Just, I have kind of a soft voice as it is. So, you know, our idea here is to make space, right? Get openings. So you always want to make sure that in between each, you want to make sure that there is space between you. Try not to block and bunch up. And some
Guys, hey, come listen.
I should go back and do like the game like piece because like I think 2 of the 3 goals they scored were offside from the get. We gotta really remind them about the offside ball in this piece. I was telling them that's an easy one we forget in training and we don't work on.
Right.
All of a sudden we're upset on game day when they can't stay on side.
Right. No, that's great.
So if you're looking for just to get in a position, even in the goal, use your side. But the harder shots, you're going to want to use your laces and you're going to want to lock your ankles so that you have a harder shot. All right. Any other questions?
No.
All right, let's play some more.
Did you swap?
Are we switching defense and offense?
Yeah, black's going to be offense. Pink's going to be back in. And why don't we start out with 3 pink? Yeah. 3 pink.
Wait, where does pink?
You guys are going to be defense. Pink's
So score here.
You're going to score there.
Okay.
Start over there. Start over there.
Wait, 3. Who's out?
Yeah, you 3's fine.
And then Georgia will get you in next time.
Once there's a score, I want you guys to switch out, or if it goes out.
Alright, guys, if it goes out or get the score, we switch.
My thing is, my goalies aren't getting any chances, so I switch one of those guys out.
They're not getting any action, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
3 people.
Yeah, you're okay with that?
Some days, yeah, they're not. They need to be in there because it's game-like, right? But this isn't for them. So, yeah, it's great. So, Derek brought up a good point to me about offsides, right? So, again, I know there's
Not
so many
game-like,
layers.
yeah.
Right, 100%. Just something to notice. I mean, most of us, we're focused on so many things. Just another point that they're going to struggle on game day then if we have been letting it go the whole time.
So, why don't you guys go and go in?
Yep. If those are the attackers, you can make that change right now. No, it's talking to them about offsides.
Oh Lord, okay.
Good job.
Everything is just a little bit.
Yeah. So something we probably had talking about, like, listen, if you have more attackers, because of the spacing, it becomes even a little bit more difficult for them. So we might
Because
want to think about
more decisions and just all the
Correct.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, so we might want to think about removing a defender instead. Play 3 versus
No, they
3.
play.
3 black, 2 pink, 1 goalkeeper, and then now they have more space to do their actions, especially on a surface like this.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
No, we're okay. We want you guys
Good talk.
outnumbered. That way they can get into space.
Watch your back, Hayden. Someone gets Hayden.
Right.
Oh, good job, Hayden.
It is.
Stay with it, Hayden. Yes, Hayden, yes.
Did you add a 5th one on purpose, or did they
I
just?
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your thinking behind adding?
Give black more of an opportunity.
Give them more opportunities to.
Pass and dribble
Okay.
and attack.
Okay.
What?
Not
Fair.
quite as fair.
No, it's.
And they're all offside, you're right.
Yep. Okay, so you can make that just as they come through, or just blur it out. That's totally up to you. One more thing. The more players that you add, the more decisions that they have to make a lot of times. And so the less the thought of the objective for them of going forward, trying to pass or dribble, kind of goes by the wayside because they're just trying to score goals at that point. So maybe taking some people off would be a little bit helpful to you because in a 2v2, 3v3 situation, they're going to be forced to pass a lot more. Does that make sense?
All right.
Are you?
All right. So,
You can just freeze them all for a quick second if you want.
so I'm gonna have you. Well, I'm just gonna change things real quickly. We're gonna do three on 3 again.
Hey.
If they score, you guys are gonna go in. All right. Who hasn't hit? Who's been? Everybody's been in. Go ahead and start.
Me?
Yeah.
Do I go in after I pass?
Yeah. You're part of it. Yeah, you guys could.
And then mention to them when they're out the offsides piece.
All right.
These two, you could start with these two right here.
All right. You guys know what offsides is?
Yeah, when you're. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 Right.
We kind of forgot about
All right. So I'm gonna try, let's try to make sure we do that. Okay.
it. We kind of forgot about
You
it.
That's
kind of
okay.
forgot.
You guys are just playing.
It's kind of hard to remember offside.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay. Who's ball coming in from?
All right.
Ball went out of bounds.
My first season, I never played offside. Never.
Who kicked it out?
Okay, it's out. We're switching. Hey, it doesn't matter. We're switching. Let's go.
Switch. Let's go. You can stay in one more round since there's only 3 of you. All right. So we're going to start playing offsides. Okay? You guys know what offsides is? All right.
Out, pink flow. Pink throw, pink throw, pink drop, pink drop.
So another way that we could change this up a little bit. So we went back to 3v3 just to make less decisions for them. I mean, if you're 5v5 versus 3v3, you know, think like it turns into like an immediate scrimmage to them and they're just trying to bang balls in the back of the net. So right now, the way he's getting his third attacker in is by passing or dribbling in right here. So it's like they're down a player already to start. So another way that we could fix that, to give them 3 versus 3 from the beginning. Do you have an idea?
Have another player play it in.
100%. Or coaches can trigger, and everyone has a different feeling about that. I don't love it because I feel like it takes my attention away from actually focusing on, but some coaches love it. Some coaches just love, hey, because then I have a little bit more control about who I play to. Maybe it's your central midfielder you're really trying to get work into, or maybe it's, you know, exploiting the left side because we've only played on the right side or whatever it is. But yeah, having another kid pass that ball in really works as well.
What's your personal feeling or take on actually playing with the kids?
What do
Because
you...
I heard you say back to the wall, so...
Oh, yes, because I'm a PE teacher, per se. So that was just, yeah.
From a coaching perspective,
Oh.
training sessions, are you one to lace it up and be out there to help? This is what I'm demonstrating, like to demonstrate, or are you...
Can you demonstrate while... Can you demonstrate
I
while...
already know what you're
Yeah, I know you know my answer, right? So if you're playing, you're not coaching, right? Because you're worried about your specifics. Who do I play to next? You're being a player at that point. Sure, you see the things, but are you... If your team is on a breakaway, are you going to freeze them to make a coaching point? No, you're human. You're going to go score that goal, right? And you can't possibly be all the way around. Chris just asked me a good question.
What's the question? Over here.
Well, Chris knew the answer before he asked it. My answer. Chris said, am I one to lace them up and hop in with my kids? Are you coaching if you're playing? Have I done it before? Yes. Do I make a habit out of it? Absolutely not. What I was just saying to this group when you guys were talking to Derek is right now, if his third player on the attack is the one that's passing the ball in, they're 3v2. Okay, so if we automatically want to give them equal playing field and really press them to go forward, I asked them, how could we do that? Their answer was to have the first kid in line do it. I said a coach could also be the trigger. I don't love doing that as a coach because to me it takes my mindset over getting a ball in. If you have to do that because, hey, we've played on the right side all day, they're not getting it in their heads, I'm getting frustrated, for you to trigger one ball, that's okay. Some coaches love doing it. But it's a really good piece right now. Instead of all this hesitation here, just play a ball in. It improves our reps. It improves our game like. I mean, just got to get the ball in.
The reality is you're real solid on the ball. And you're like, man, we did a good job. Well, because you were threading passes that they can't thread. Yeah.
He did take the time to tell the kids as they came off here about making sure that they were on sides. And the kids, of course, yeah, I know, I just forgot. So, right. Stop. Yeah.
Let's do Chris as well. His other coach for players in town. Tell you've been quietly studying with kids during the app and all that.
We're good for time whenever.
Yeah. That's before we do share shot.
Okay.
So we can figure out which team's what.
Why? It's great. That's why you're here.
All right.
Keep it in bounds.
All right. Next goal, we're gonna. There we go.
Drop again.
All right. Good job, guys.
Good. And then just have some closing for them, and they're just transitioning to the next phase. And so we'll just let them get a drink.
You guys are gonna
Come on this
side
side.
here in just a minute with a kick coach. You guys did great. So what did we learn today?
We learned a lot about passing.
Excellent.
And,
Moving in space. Indeed.
And putting your foot where you're supposed, where it should go.
Excellent. Anybody else learn anything? No. All right. Thank you.
Good job. Okay. What is their next move?
Thank you for coaching.
Oh, that's so kind.
For us to set up the,
Perfect.
scrimmage.
Great job, guys.
Take off our pennies.
Yes, you can take off your pennies, put them in the pile over there would be great.
Good job. It's over. You did it, man.
Dude, these are like javelins. Spear somebody.
I know, right?
And how many kids hang on this thing for fun is like...
Yeah, well, you know,
I love that you said yes. Here, really quickly, I'll talk to you while... Oh no, Derek seems to be resetting my video. Derek? Are you still good over there? Okay, all right. A little bit sketchy. Okay, while these two guys are setting up...
Is that what happened, Yellow?
Jimmy, we love that you did it. I know that a lot of you were traveling on your way here, but Lindsay Horan in her presser said, I'm really proud of everyone who wanted to step up and take a PK today. We're really proud of you for stepping up and wanting to do this. It's great. It's great. I mean, and again, I think I touched on this in reflection when we were in our virtual classroom. Have other coaches watch you, record yourself, do all the things. You'll think about all the questions that I asked you every time you go out there now.
Absolutely.
So it's great. It's a little, it's pressure cooker right now. And this isn't your own plan, right? So you're spending so much time studying it. Yeah, right? And really focusing on it black and white. Like I get that stuff too. Okay? So keep in mind that we can adapt any of these things. Numbers wise, space wise. I heard Derek say that every decision you make comes with consequences. Just think that out. If I add a kid, what am I doing space-wise or competition-wise or repetition-wise? How many touches are my kids getting? Sure, you might be using them all so they're not standing in lines, but are they really getting that many opportunities to touch the ball? So think about all those things going through your head when you make those decisions, those choices. So we got through play 1. We just got through practice. Now we're to play 2, okay? Which is our traditional, for lack of a better term, scrimmage type of thing. Make sure that this one is as game-like as possible. So again, back to that traditional question, how many kids do we have before we decide field space? If you don't have some sort of app or some way to communicate with your parents and your kids about how many kids are showing up to training, do that. It'll make your life exponentially easier if you know how many kids are showing up. Sure, one's late. Sure, somebody forgot their cleats and had to turn around or whatever the case may be. If you know that you have 15 kids versus 10, it completely throws off what you're doing. So if you're not doing that, do it. It'll improve your life greatly. Any questions about this? Kelsey, what do we have in our manual? Look at now we're thinking where a ball's going to get transitioned in from. Our trigger. Oh, kids. kids.
They're fun. Actually better than I thought with my instructors.
No, they're doing pretty well. Hanging tight. Okay, so Mateo and Chris are going to take us home. Oh, Chris, what did you just say? What word did you say? Their last word you said? Yeah, okay, the one before that too, the last 2 words. Goal box. That's something that a lot of us just don't really think about when we're setting up a scrimmage. I talked to Mike at the beginning and said how great it was that I thought that he used those yellow cones at the beginning as we start to talk about offsides and some things. But I think that it's really great that we're making a goal box here. So our goalkeepers, it's as game-like as possible. And we just know field spacing a bit better. So they seem to be adjusting a little bit left and right. It's great. And again, if you have an assistant coach to be separating these kids out right now, that's awesome. So we're not spending as much time doing this.
Are we doing the whole field?
The whole field.
The whole field. I'm sorry? Just tell them they're doing sprints. Fitness. You've done great.
And again, at this point, the quickest that we can get these kids in here, the best.
So it stopped it for 15 minutes, something like that.
Okay, that's fine. All good. Thank you. We left that one go a little long anyway, so it was fine. Well, I appreciate your double checking.
We've moved all the way down. It's too much, I know, but never mind. We're
Too big.
Are we doing full field?
No, we can always because it's about to rain.
Oh, it's about to rain?
So one of the guys could be working on field setup, right? While the other one gets these guys ready, explains what we're doing, and so we're ready to rock and roll.
Hug me, guys. Yay! Why are we hugging me? It doesn't even make any sense. Yeah. So Harper. Oh my God. What am I riding?
Okay, guys, we're not going to be playing full field.
All right, guys, y'all ready? Yeah? Everybody bring it in.
You guys can come closer if you want. Again, keeping our objective in mind. Yes, we're playing, but what's our objective? So when we ask these questions and use these keywords, that they go along with that.
Yeah? This is the best part of this training, okay? Because we get to play, right? I'm Chris. Mateo. All right. So, what are a couple things we've done today?
We've kind of littler scrimmages.
Right. And what are we looking to score, right? So that's what we're going to look for out here today, okay? Try to move the ball upfield so you can score, okay? So when we talk, did we talk? I wasn't able to hear today, but have y'all heard anything about openings?
Yeah.
Windows for scoring? Yeah. What are we thinking about with that? What does that mean?
Spacing?
Yeah.
Spacing, sure.
Yeah.
But what else? Like if we're going towards the goal and we're shooting, what else could opening be? Make a pass. But if we're aiming, if we're trying to score, and there's an opening, like say you two are my opening, and I'm dribbling up, and there's a little bit of a window here, a little bit of an opening. I want to try to shoot at the goal, right? So if you see a little bit of that goal, we want to shoot, right? What part of foot do we shoot with?
Laces.
Laces for what? What's
For like striking it as hard.
for striking it hard, and what other foot, part of the foot?
Inside.
And that's for what?
Like just like tapping it.
Accuracy, right?
Yeah.
We're looking to place it more, right? Okay, so we're gonna split up in teams. Do you have anything? I know I just talked the whole thing. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, a lot of you guys, let's pay attention real quick. A lot of you aren't really utilizing your passes. Some of you are just taking the ball and just going and clashing against the defender, and just you're doing that thing where you both are kicking the ball at the same time was really doing it, but I think you really should, because then you're not clumsy, right? So the bigger the better. All right.
All right, so we're going to look to play. As soon as the ball goes out, we want to try to get back in play as soon as possible, okay? So we're playing a game, so we're also thinking about offsides too, right? We're playing the full width of the field, so if it goes out, we're going to throw it in, okay? Yep, we're going to be blowing you out. Yellow cards and red cards, you're done.
Wait, no red cards. No red cards.
All right. So, we're going to pick teams real quick. If you'll split them up and get pennies.
However you think.
All right. We're going to do this random. All right, if I give you the number 1, please come to my right. If I give you 2, come to my left. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right one.
This is 2.
Yeah, this is 2. This is 1.
Okay. I just want to have
This is 1. This is 2.
6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there will be one team that has a little bit more.
Should just keep it like this, huh?
Yeah.
That worked out.
So here's a goalie for you. And if you want to take one, which side do you want?
Doesn't matter.
All right.
I call wing.
Winners, we're shooting on that goal, right? Team wins. Okay? You guys get all the cards.
Okay. What do we think about for organization? It's hard when you have to set up your own field, right? And I mentioned before, maybe one could set up field, one could do teams really quickly. How do we feel with our pregame talk that we had? Was long, theme of the day, right?
So do you want to organize the kids, or maybe that's what he's doing now, but like some sort of formation?
Yep. He's going to give them a formation, as you should, as a coach. Yeah, I mean, if they're playing pickup, that's one thing, but this is, again, as game-like and real as we can possibly make it besides your game days, for sure. So he did do a good job about bringing up, he didn't use them specifically, but touching on the points that we were supposed to today. So he talked about creating angles, which is what one of our key thoughts in our practice phase was. He talked about how to strike a ball, so locking our ankle was some of our key words as well. But again, if we can just say that in 1 minute, then what he was actually doing when he was moving kids around, that's a great coaching point. Can we make it real life in here and stop the kids? Hey, stop, freeze. This is a great point for you to play that slotted ball right here on that angle, and then we can try to get an opportunity to go to goal. Great. Pass it back to Johnny. As soon as, the game will start, as soon as Johnny passes it to Joe, and then we go. So that's great. Can we get the kids playing faster? This too, I know that everyone is trying to be kind. Every kid can't play in their favorite position. We can't all play forward. We can't all play goalie. So, if it takes more than 30 seconds, hey, I'll swap you next time. Yep. Good. So, again, this is just some time type of thing. Hey, let's go. Especially when you're new, these players, these older girls, you can tell are challenging some of our coaches today. Okay. Didn't notice. Jimmy didn't notice.
Water off the duck's back.
Okay, so the easiest way that I do this is, hey, ball's in 10 seconds. It'll stop their talking and we're ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to have these guys come stand over here with me so I can talk to them on the sideline. If you guys will move your gallery over here as well so we can all hear each other and chit-chat together. Hi. Keep coming. I'm going to talk to them on this side, so all the way around if you would.
Well, I tried to learn them like a split second. I'm terrible. Good. Go. Out wide.
Chris, I'm going to pull you in here for a second. You both did really good job at the beginning when you were telling them like key phrases, key words about what we worked on so far. I heard you tell them, how to shoot a ball. So locking our ankle was one of our key words in there. At first, you talked about when you were separating the kids about passing angles. Again, that was what we were supposed to be working on in practice. Might not have came to fruition 100%, but we saw it a little bit. So things to work on in here is great. I know that it's hard to set up a field and to get kids going at the same time, especially when you don't know them. But, and I know it's hard too, figuring out numbers on the spot. How big am I going to make this space? But I'm sure you guys understand. As fast as we can get the kids in, the better. If one of you can decide on the field space and the other one can get them going, it's just a little thing. So what you did so great when you were explaining to them about passing angles, if you see a really great coaching point in here, we haven't really seen many coaches hop in, and demonstrate. So it's not really game-like, and I know that that's hard, and sometimes in your training sessions that you'll feel that you need to get closer. But this is, if we're talking about offsides, and a lot of times you'll be subbing kids in and things like that, you'll talk to your subs as much as you talk to your... And I know it's hard, you don't know their names.
Watch behind you, 30.
Is that quarter go in there?
I
didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. Instead, if you just pull him to you, it's a little bit better. Yeah, just pull him in. Just pull him into you.
I don't remember his name.
It's okay. You can figure it out.
Green. Look, there's two people back here. We got to help on defense. What?
Spread out.
I'm just gonna go out there.
It's okay.
Hey, hold on. Everybody freeze for a second. No, never mind. Keep playing. Play. Number 12. I don't know your name.
So that too. So if we just say like, hey bud, great shot, like hopefully we'll get his attention as opposed to this, right? Yeah, for sure. And he knew. He had his own mental conversation with himself, and he told himself not to do it, and he did it anyway.
Why is he going to the field? Reel those two back.
Okay, so, and I did talk to him when I talked to you about, hey, that was a really great moment that you had over there, but can we demonstrate that on the field? Their big concern right now is, hey, I don't know those kids' names. Think outside the box a little bit. Hey, great shot, but can you come over here real quick so I can talk to you? And then tell them about offsides. So any way that you can get a hold of them, great, do that. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the big piece about the play too is you want to...
And a lot of times when this is going on too, you'll have subs over here. So like I'm talking to you and them, you'll be talking to your players on the field and that are right next to you. Kelsey, can you pull out that sheet? So come a little bit closer in here just so I don't want to really distract them. What are some big differences, and Kelsey's going to look up some things in our manual for us, some big differences between play 1 and play 2. Finish is great. That is a great point. There is a large goal. That's different than play 1.
Hey, freeze! We start back at a kickoff if a goal is scored, yeah?
What else are some big differences between play 1 and play 2? The size, right? How many kids are on the field? Okay, so at first when we were asking more guided questions, now we're going to be facilitating way more answers. Feel free that we can stop them and demonstrate them, whatever we need to do. What are we in practice? Let's flip that over and find play 2.
They don't have numbers. It's just play.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
First play phase. There should be one on the other side of this.
Oh, I was just on the
I think you're on your other sheet.
I was, yeah. Here.
Great. So this one's a little bit smaller because this is just replicating the game. So.
All right. So transitioning from practice to the second play phase. Did that. Talked about that. And then starting the second play phase. So thinking about position, sun, wind, weather, review the keywords, a brief explanation, about 30 seconds, of the second play phase. And then no referee for this. Keep going into coaching in the flow.
Coaching in the flow is what they're,
That's what they were
they're
just
doing great
yeah.
right now.
And then, well, we'll get to halftime talk.
No, but let's share that right now.
Okay, so halftime talk, collective evaluation of the first half, select appropriate keywords and guided questions based on the first half observations.
Okay? So, it's going to be gray ball. Third piece. Yeah, come on. Looks great.
No flag tack. On your feet, okay?
Cleats up. Went right on.
Okay, so free kicks are going that way, right?
Okay, so halftime. This is a huge piece. No, you're fine. You were great. Make sure that we treat this like an actual halftime. So many times that we don't actually, as coaches, practice giving halftime speeches. Set your clock if you need to. Obviously, this should be a shorter halftime than probably in a real game, but treat it like a real game. Give the keywords. Hey, what's working? Hey, what's not? Okay, here are positions. Let's rock and roll. So make sure that when you're doing this, it's just not free play. You treat it as close to as game-like as possible. Great. Perfect. And this is going to be even shorter.
Our whole topic today has been what?
You guys can come closer so you can hear Derek too.
Right? So that should be our whole talk at halftime is what, how do we improve our goal scoring, right? When we start talking about defending, then all of a sudden we're really good.
Open one.
Good loud talk, Mateo. Love it.
Your coach's voice, Mateo.
Open one. Good.
Yes.
It's good information.
Go.
Let them hear it.
I'm so excited right now.
And so also within our halftime that we were just talking about, make sure we swap sides. Kids would always rather shoot at an actual goal than one of these.
I was going to tell you that. So green, find somebody to mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what do you think at halftime too? Since you guys are rolling us, how about we take one of your players since we're down, and we'll go up this half.
Ooh, are we talking about transfer market already?
Yeah.
Man, like how much money are you paying them?
It's a hard knock life.
Right.
I think you probably
It was a question.
roll with what you got. You
Yeah,
roll with
okay.
what you got. Because now,
Short time, too.
now it becomes a question of, did we solve a problem or did I just fix it by swapping
Right.
players? You know what I mean? So,
Okay.
it's
All right,
good.
freeze.
Yeah.
All right, everybody go. Grab a drink of water real quick, and we'll meet you in the middle.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna be there. So.
You said 8 minutes, right? Or were you stopping
Yeah.
it?
No, you're great. No, you're doing your job. That's great. No, don't be sorry. I'm just here to be a bystander.
He said 8 minutes.
No, I think that is what he said. You're fine.
Hey, no luck.
Hey, Chris and Mateo. Yeah, do it out here so these guys can hear.
Yeah. When you all get your drink, come back over here.
I guess over here.
Emily, is that it? Yeah. Go play out in the field.
We got some things we can fix really
No.
simple, alright? But we can make it
Green,
very
come over here.
different.
There you go.
I have one thing.
One thing.
Green, yeah, actually stay over there and listen to what they're doing.
No, some people.
All right, you want to sit down?
Not gonna make. So some people, they're just like going forward, and like I know I was, and then Harper was, and then other people were. We're telling them to drop, and they're not, and they're just going straight forward.
This is what we're gonna do. It's a really easy fix. Okay. So you're playing the ball.
If you change
Let's say that way. So if you're playing left side,
So we're just looking at maybe man on, right? Maybe time where they can dribble a little bit more.
or you're dropping.
I know we don't.
But you're kind of leaving her in the dark, because then she has like 2 players coming right at her, and no one's really passing to. So what I want you to do is go out wide, because then even if you draw a defender, she has one less to worry about, right? And and then she has you right there if she needs to relieve the pressure.
What do you mean by like go out to the side?
No, just open out wide because essentially because you're playing midfield, you don't have to.
The ball a little bit. Everybody does. Get back on the ball, and then we can try to find one of their players to line up.
So make sure in these halftime talks that you're still staying with objective. If a kid has a question and asks you about something defensively, sure, do your best to make it as quick and as back on point to objective as you possibly can. Reiterate those keywords, those phrases that we've talked about, maybe some guided questions. But again, this is quick and it's still very attacking minded. You got to stick with that objective. I know it's hard sometimes, but like I said earlier, they're sponges, but trying to fix too much is just too much. And again, be cautious of your words. Like in halftime, you have an allotted time as opposed to when you're starting different parts, different phases of your training session. But again, if kids are panting and having a hard time, try to just stick to those key phrases and words. Get them set, have your lineups, and head out there. Good. We're almost there. We're doing great.
All right, coaches, let's go.
Yep, that's what I needed. We could talk for days and tell them what they were doing right and wrong.
Oh no, I was just telling. I was like, love it. Oh, I was sorry. I just looked for their last defendant. Yeah, I know.
I sent you a text for the whole group. So
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Whistle, whistle.
Well done.
tricky back heel. It doesn't come off, does it?
There you go, out wide. Out wide. Keep coming. You know her name. What's her name? Number 2.
Keep the pressure, keep the pressure. You guys spread out, we're all close. Beat it.
Talking is an instrument.
It's okay to have a little energy as a coach as well. It's okay when they score a goal to jump up and down with them. They'll emulate what you put into this.
Teo, I swear I was standing right there talking to you, and you said yes. What do we need to do when they score a goal?
There you go.
Get excited.
Wide.
Like I was getting ready.
I'm about to check to see if you have a pulse. Okay?
I'm getting ready for the next game.
Okay.
We can celebrate when the game's over.
That's okay. It's only the hardest thing in the game to do. That's cool. Just be
Help
cool.
them.
Yeah, let them enjoy it. Get excited. You know what I mean? Plus, like, if every time your mouth opens, it's only to correct them, at some point they're going to be done hearing you speak. You know what I mean? So you got to think about balancing your feedback to them of that positive,
Dribble.
corrective.
Hayden, open up.
So the next piece I'd like to think about is like, so he just made a comment about, I think he said Caden open up with that check something. So can we relate that back to the topic?
Keep coming out wide.
So,
Keep coming.
hey,
Yeah,
can
all
you
the way out
open
here.
up so we can get
There
the
you go,
ball?
wide.
We're higher
Yeah,
up the field,
good.
and maybe we have a chance to get a goal.
Right.
It just kind of
Come
always
right.
bring it back. And
Now,
do that little
what's
bit
your
of
name again?
hype. Now it's not just you're just pulling strings.
Georgia,
you're
next
giving
time you have
a little
all
bit of
kinds of
feedback
space here.
on understanding
Dribble.
where you want to go.
Then maybe make that happen.
There's some games you
So
can
push up
pass.
so you're close to her.
Great run. So that's what we see a lot of the older age groups. They've been
Come on, Green. Come on, Green. Get back.
If the game is too fast, they have no.
Green, back.
Wide.
Good, Collier. Good. Hey, good shot. That's fine. Good shot. Well done. Collier. It's okay. It's a good shot. Now step up. Collier, go. Push up.
So good. If one of your kids took a shot from 25 yards, what would you tell them?
Not to.
Yeah, so what can you tell them from a coaching piece? I mean, that even could be a point where you stop and be like, Collier, that was a really great run. Did you see anybody around you?
Yeah.
Type of thing.
That,
yeah, right? Because, part of what we're doing, our objective is getting higher so we get those goal scoring opportunities. Is that a goal scoring opportunity? Maybe if an oops happens.
Stay with it. Yes.
Have it.
Let's go!
There we go.
Let's go.
Mateo has a pulse. It's checked.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to give them specific feedback, like to whoever the player was. Hey, great way to finish that. Just little things like that. Okay.
You did a great job locking your ankle, like whatever it is.
Great decision to shoot that direction.
Yes, good. Can you beat her? Can you beat her out wide?
Or listen, something that you want to avoid doing.
Caden, when you're defending her like that, go in her back, not on her side. Don't go in front of her.
Well done. Good job. Out wide. Big kick. Big kick out wide.
Now you want me to do it better?
Wide.
Wait till they hit that toe ball in the back, and then you can take that.
Okay.
Fred.
Celebrate the big score,
Nice shot.
Hey, good pass, Grace.
So even when this is happening, it's fine. It's fine because you're in charge of one team. So again, just keep focusing on, hey, can we find those passes? Can we make good passing angles so we can get higher up the field? Like, can we pass, keep possession so we can go try to score a goal?
Yeah. Yes, good ball. Well done, Green. Collier, come on.
You have to speak. Tell him to go out wide. You're an option.
Good. Oh.
All right, play. We're going. She sat on. Well done, Collier. Head up, Green. Yes, good job. Now get wide. How can you get it back? Yes, good. Bring it wide here. Good. Wide. Nice. Well done, Green.
I'm working with the goalkeeper.
So on my team, I would ask how could she have gotten that ball back? And that's
Right.
kind of why I like being.
Yep, in it. Yep,
Yeah.
I understand. I get it. And then the same thing, hey, really great job passing so we could get forward, so we got a goal scoring opportunity. It's huge that they just understand that why.
Good job. Head up. Yes, good ball. Unlucky. Collier, you can check back to the ball as well.
Always look over your shoulder.
He didn't hear it.
Did I say? I probably did.
Chris, how much time you got left?
1 minute.
1 minute.
Over your shoulder.
I say it all the time.
Good. Oh, same.
So let's have them bring him in, do debrief with the players, all right, and then approach him. We can pick all the keywords, put it over by the sign over there.
So again, for that, if we're just lacking some coaching points, if we have some teams that haven't been super competitive, like that same kid is taking a shot from 25-ish yards out, you can pause them. Hey, Collier, really great job driving in. I'm not sure if that was a great goal scoring opportunity for us. What we worked on today was finding dribbling and passing lanes that we could get as a group a goal scoring opportunity. So if you could make a choice, what else would it be? Or show him, direct another piece. Just make sure that this just doesn't turn into a full out scrimmage and we just, close our eyes and cheer him on and let him go.
Bring it wide.
say that word. I don't like.
I did it like 4 or 5 times. Do you want me to stop?
Yep.
Oh, I was like, all right, green. All right, we're done.
You guys can come this way. No, we'll talk to him first. You can do them together. Because right now at the end of training, we're still on the same team.
All right, let me see how you can throw out your opinions right here. Mateo. Yeah.
All right, that was really good, guys. Really good ball movement at the end there. It's really looking into your open spaces, you know, and being the option is what I like to say at all times. Always make yourself an option, even if the ball is, let's say your central midfielder is taking it up, right? And even if you're a right back, right wing, doesn't matter. You have to make that opening for them to pass it to you to relieve the pressure, right? Because then once you do that, then you have the time to get a play going, right? Get some good build up, right? What are some things that you guys think you could have done better this game, or that we could have worked on better for next time? And then
Talking. I feel like instead of taking a touch and dribbling, I feel like sometimes I just like kicked it too.
yeah, okay. So then that comes into play with something that she just said over here, talking and taking it to no one. Right? There isn't really that communication of, hey, I'm open over here, or hey, man, because there are many times where, let's say she received the ball, right, took a good touch and turned, but what we're doing then is we're just gonna, everyone back here is just completely silent, but then she has two defenders coming in, right? Because then if she passes the ball, and let's say the pass doesn't go as far as we want it to, which is okay, the other defender gets it, right? Okay, so we need to communicate.
Careful with leaving it that open-ended. What do we think we did well, or what do we think we could get better? Again, everything is tying back to the objective that we are working on all day today. You can ask them the same questions to get that engagement, but say, what did we do well with the objective of trying to dribble or pass forward to create goal-scoring opportunities? These kids will talk about, what could we have done better? Well, I could have tied my shoes tighter. Like, it's just, I mean, make sure that we're staying on theme the whole time the best we can.
Work on is not then bunching up too much, right? Because we get bunched up, then we spoke about it. It's a little scramble, right? Where everyone's just kind of picking around.
Again, there's a million things during the game we could have done better. So if we're just focused on that pinpoint, you'll get their retention if they actually took something out of training.
Relax, we only have to worry about one at a time, right? Anything else? Anyone?
I think you nailed it on the head. You guys did good. You guys have fun today?
Yeah.
Yeah? Anybody feel like you learned anything? All right. What all do we work on? Do we work on... Who can tell me one thing we worked on today? Yes. Passing. Good. Shooting for... Yep, scoring goals, right? Looking for space. Good. Yep. Talking. What we did. Okay. You guys, I thought we had a good game. Y'all competed hard. Thank y'all for letting us be out here today.
Okay, we'll break you down once you get over to your water. Right now what we need is all the balls, all the cones, any pennies you see, everything picked up, and we'll meet you over by your water, please. Yes, please. If you could put them over with the rest of them, they're right across from us. Thank you so, so much. If you promise to be extra careful, I'll let you get the poles. Yeah, there you go. Pull from the bottom. Good job.
I live in Lexington. I coach a team in Harrison County, though.
Hey, bud, can you go grab that penny for me real quick? Thank you so much. You're faster than that we move.
Are you here? Are you in Cincinnati?
No,
Okay, I saw your Cincinnati shirt, so I assumed.
Oh, yeah,
there.
right, yeah.
You live in Lexington?
Uh-huh.
I coach in Lexington. New Circle, it will be New Circle and I on that exit to get to like Lexington Christian is where I've been
Oh, okay.
out anywhere by the mall.
Yeah. Well, Richmond, like if you live in Richmond or driving
Yes.
that way, a nightmare right now.
It is a nightmare.
Well, if you have any kids get injured that are 11 and older, I'm a physical therapist for soccer players too.
Are you?